I'm going to start today's homily by focusing on my relationship with my two older brothers, which you might see as being prompted by today's first reading that gave us a window into Joseph's relationship with his brothers. So even though some people have said throughout my life that I might have been the favorite son, unlike Joseph, I never really felt like my brothers treated me harshly in light of that potential fact. Quite the opposite, right? Quite the opposite. And I don't want to paint too rosy of a picture here. My brothers and I fought about all kinds of things, but I never felt hated. And so this may be me looking at my memories with somewhat rose-colored lenses on. But more often than not, what I experienced from my brothers was love. Right? I experienced love from them. And I felt that I was at least loved enough by them in my memory that I can sincerely now thank the Lord from my heart for the gift of my two brothers. And there's connected to that, there's been this reality that a handful of times in confession I'll mention this reality to people who I think might benefit from hearing how much I treasure my relationship with my brothers, how much I've looked up to them throughout my life, how much I still look up to them to this day. And one of the reasons I think I'm sharing all that is to say I would be heartbroken. I would be heartbroken if my brothers made it clear in some way that they did not want me to be a part of their lives anymore. Even if they didn't do it in the drastic way that Joseph's brothers do to him. And I was reflecting on all this. The closest thing that this memory came to mind of the closest way that I've experienced something like Joseph did, even though it's nothing like Joseph in the grand scheme of things, but it was something like that. So it's a memory of me riding my bike with my brothers and their friends. So we're all riding bikes together. And just for context, at the time, we lived about 2 blocks away from Pontiff Playground, right near the train tracks there. And as we were riding bikes, as would often happen, we heard a train coming. And I guess boys being boys, they were all in their early teens probably. I was around maybe 8 or 9 years old at the time. They decided they wanted to make a beeline for the railroad crossing to try to cross the tracks before the train came through the railroad crossing. So I was smaller than them, younger than them. I could not ride as fast as them, so I couldn't keep up. Really feeling my littleness, and I just remember calling out in desperation, "Please don't leave me, right? Please don't leave me behind." And reflecting back on it, in reality, the worst thing that could have happened, that probably would have happened, is I would just have to go home 2 blocks away and hang out by myself. But I didn't want that, right? I didn't want that. So in my memory, I'm literally crying, tears of frustration. Don't leave me. And because this idea of being excluded, being left out of whatever adventure they were about to get into on the other side of the tracks, I wanted in. I didn't want to be left out. So if my memory served me correctly, somebody did stay behind, so that I didn't have to wait for the train to go by all by myself, because there was no shot I was beating the train across the tracks. And don't remember if it was my brothers or one of their friends, but I also don't remember the fear of being left out coming to fruition. So I remember getting to hang out with them that day, which was all I wanted. That's all I wanted. Here's the takeaway, right? Why I share that story. The takeaway is, especially in light of Joseph being a prefigurement of a son being rejected by those who should represent those who are in closest relationship to him, and God having a plan to bring good out of that rejection. Joseph's brothers should have been some of the closest relationships in his life. Similarly, but even more so, the chief priests and the elders of the Jewish people should have been some of the people in closest relationship to God as leaders of his people. But they end up rejecting the Son of God incarnate, Jesus. What's amazing about that is that God brings one of the greatest goods that we can fathom out of our rejection of him. The opportunity to be reconciled to him by asking to receive his merciful love, which is one of the most beautiful gifts that he gives us in this life. And it's always an option that is open to us for as long as God keeps that window open, right? That window of time open. Ultimately, his desire is similar to mine was with my brother and their friends, except that it's better. Ultimately, he wants us to stay with him on the adventure that he has planned for our lives, and to do so in constant relationship with him. No matter what crosses might come our way during that adventure, this is the beautiful truth. He can still bring the ultimate good to fruition. That you and I would enter into eternal life with him. And this is true no matter the way that we reject him or his ways. Because he's always inviting us to be reconciled to him for the sake of eternal happiness with him. This is the good news that we're being called to share with the world. My hope for you, my prayer for you throughout this day is that you've learned that sharing this good news does not always have to be in these big, grandiose ways. It's not always going to look impressive. It does not have to. It can be in little and very hidden ways, all done with great love. This is the good news. So my invitation for you today as you come to the conclusion of this retreat is to not be afraid to receive that good news for yourself, so that you might never be afraid to share that good news with others.